Hey guys, Sick Fix here. Today we're going to be talking about physical withdrawals and what addiction does to your personality. Let's get it. Alright, today we're going to be talking about physical withdrawals, specifically with alcohol and opiates. They're kind of the same. It's something that you're going to expect if you're about to go through it, or if you know somebody that's going through it, you can put yourself in their shoes. I'm also going to be touching base on personality, what addiction does to your personality, because I feel like it's never brought up, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys have heard about it. Let me know in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. But I've never heard about, well, this, if you go through an addiction, it's really going to screw up your personality. I don't hear it anywhere. But anyways, let's touch upon physical withdrawals. By the way, I'm not a psychiatrist, so these are just my opinions. I just want to throw that out there so I don't get in trouble or anything. But the first one, and by far the worst one, is restless leg syndrome. Nothing worse in this planet than not be able to get a good night's sleep, and you won't. With restless leg syndrome, it feels like your legs are permanently on a treadmill, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And you're laying in bed in the middle of the night, and you tuck your feet up, you put your legs straight out, you try to strengthen your legs. No matter what you do, it doesn't make it go away. And if you have to be up at 5:30 in the morning and go to work, it's horrible. You'll drag ass into work, and I think there's nothing worse than that. I hate not being able to get a good night's sleep. It absolutely sucks. Nothing worse than that. And you won't get any sleep until maybe 2 days later, when you've got maybe a half an hour of total sleep and you absolutely crash. But that's about it. You're not going to get any sleep. So if you know somebody that's going through the addiction process, expect that. They're not going to get any sleep. So if they're wandering around at night, just know that that's normal. Number two, you feel sick. Everything tastes like crap. You're hot, you're cold, you're up, you're down, you're irritable, nothing's comfortable. You can put a blanket on, it doesn't matter. A cold pack on your head, it does not matter. You're going to feel sick, and there's nothing to do to fix it. I mean, there are a couple things you can do, just like with trying to get sleep with the restless leg syndrome. I know they make pills for that now, but I use sleepy time tea. That usually helped me out a little bit, calm me down a little bit, calm my nerves, and I usually got some better sleep with that. Being sick, there's nothing really you can do. These withdrawals are basically, you just have to ride through them. I don't recommend that, but that's what you're going to be going through unless you go ahead and use your drug of choice. Number three is headaches. You'll get such bad headaches that no matter what light you look at, it's going to be painful. I don't know what migraines feel like, but I hear they're kind of similar. Basically, any type of light makes you want to close your eyelids, and it hurts the front part of your forehead. That's what those headaches feel like. They're very painful. Another one would be, let's see, we talked about shakes. You get the shakes really bad. Basically feels like you've been on a long hike and you forgot to pack a granola bar, and you start feeling lightheaded and you're shaky, to the point where you're almost like, screw it, I'll just go eat a pine cone over there just so I can get some calories in my body. That's what it feels like. You're shaking constantly, and the sweating. Man, there'd be some times where I'd wake up in the morning, if I did get some sleep, and I would have to change my sheets because I'd sweat so much. It's almost like to the point where if you've ever get any tattoos, if you're a sweater, it's the same thing. I know different people are different with tattoos and the pain tolerances and everything. I know some people shake and whatnot, but there are some people out there, when they get tattoos, they sweat. That's what it feels like. Now, if there's a couple other things that I'm missing, I feel like those are some of the main points. There's another one, is being your bowels just go right through you. You can't control it. You go from maybe having something somewhat normal to having to go number 2 all the time. And it's horrible, and it actually dehydrates you. So that comes into play. So if you know somebody going through it, just make sure that they're always drinking some Gatorade, get some, rehydrate, get those electrolytes going. But that's another part of the physical withdrawal process. If I'm missing something, please let me know. But those are some of the big things that I went through. And yeah, those were absolutely horrible. And like I said, if you know somebody that's going through this process, now you kind of know what they're going through. That way you won't piss them off as much. Now, they will have a really short fuse, so don't get upset with yourself if you make them upset. It's not your fault. They're going to be snappy. There's nothing you can do about that. I also want to, because I was thinking about this today, I also want to touch up on what happens to your personality when you're going through addiction. And the best way I can put it is if you have a nice Picasso painting with tons of colors, and I don't know if this is Picasso, I want to say it is, but just picture a painting with tons of colors and shapes and just full of life, right? When you're going through the addiction process, basically, it's like somebody just putting a white blanket over it, okay? Then you go through the recovery process. They take the blanket off, and instead of having all your colors being there and all those shapes and everything, everything's just been grayed out and smeared. And it's the weird, and I don't know why nobody talks about this. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. If you guys have heard about this, then let me know. But every time I went to counseling or group counseling, not one person has told me about this. But I do know that this is a thing because every time I've talked to another addict, they've told me, yeah, Mike, I agree with you on that. So when you're going through the recovery process, it's like your beautiful portrait is being smeared with just a gray. So no more colors, no more shapes, nothing. And the longer you go through your addiction, the longer it's going to take for you to get that beautiful portrait back, that beautiful personality that you have. And everybody has beautiful personalities. I don't care what anybody tells you. You have a great personality and you want it to come through. Well, the longer you are going through your addiction, just know the longer it's going to take for you to start seeing your real personality. And it's a total trip. It's like learning how to walk. I know you won't remember yourself learning how to walk, but I feel like that's what it would feel like because you're learning how to laugh again. My mom used to tell me all the time, Mike, you were the funniest person I've known, and now it's gone. And she's right. I used to be a class clown. And over the years, I've started to crack jokes again. And she would actually look at me and go, wow, where'd that joke come from? That was actually really funny. I wish I could see more of that. And to me, I wish I could tell her, yeah, I want to be more funny, but that's just not how it works. It just takes time. And it's such a trip experiencing it because I'll give you an example. When I was in college, I watched Step Brothers and I cried during one of those scenes where he was running down when he was sleepwalking. When he was sleepwalking, when they were throwing stuff and he was putting the purse in the oven and everything. I cried during that. Well, I hadn't seen it since college. And when I put it back on, I laughed, but I didn't cry. And it was such a trip experiencing laughter again. I was like, holy cow, there's my personality again. But it's such a trip experiencing that. And if you haven't gone through this process, you won't know what I'm talking about. But it also will help people who maybe have a family member or a friend that's going through this. If you see that they don't have their personality, now you understand what's going on. And it's going to take some time for them to be the class clown again or whatever their personality may be. And I just feel like it's never brought up. So if you have heard about this, let me know because, like I said, every counseling that I went to, the counselor would be like, this is interesting. And I would think that's interesting because he's interested in it. Just because I'm going through it, but nobody else knows what I'm talking about. It's just interesting, and I feel like I should bring it up. But anyways, like I said, I'm all new to this YouTube thing. If you guys like what you hear, if it's helpful, please let me know. The reason why I'm bringing these videos to you guys is because I want to help other people. I really do. I feel like what I've gone through was hell and back, and I feel like I've learned a lot. And I want to help anybody. If this could just help one person get through addiction, because addiction is a son of a bitch. And if you don't know what somebody's going through, I feel like you won't be able to properly help them. Or at least understand what they're going through. So if you like what you hear, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. If you want me to talk about a certain topic, write it down in the comments below. But yeah, that's it. You guys stay strong, and I'm out.